Are we good for sit for a second?
Today.
Let's talk about today.
Grand national state level, you have to run non-sales, wholesale.
Is 9,000.
The only mistake I made, I didn't put it right in the registration booth with the
Just this ever-evolving story.
All right, welcome everybody. Doing a little Zellwood, Florida Super Bowl event preview here with Mark Boyer from Congress, Indiana. I think Brandon, I'm going to mute him for a second. Brandon AC's down there. They're trying to get going. But it's always fun to see the Mr. Twister down there. Mark, how are you tonight, sir?
I'm doing fine. How are you, Jason?
Good. Great to see you. How long have you and Scott been bringing the tractor down to Florida for some events?
I believe we've brought the big tractor down. Prior to that, I've pulled kind of all over Florida for better than 20, probably.
Okay. So you have some good history down there then pulling in Florida, right?
Yeah, I think I do.
Do you remember the first time you pulled down there?
I do. First time I pulled down there was with a classic modified, and I pulled Florida flywheelers. I believe.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of the flywheelers.
I'm sorry?
I've heard of the flywheelers. Yep, I've heard of them.
Yeah. Mostly antiques. They pulled my classic modified class and a bunch of naturally aspirated mini rods and a lot of antiques. It was a good time, and I can't even remember what year that was the first time I went down, but that was my first experience pulling in Florida, and I had kind of pulled all over, but just the last few years with the 7,500-pound model.
Yep. No, that's great. Again, if you're just joining us, the Zellwood Super Bowl is February 6th and 7th in Zellwood, Florida. Afternoons are dedicated to some antiques and garden tractors, and the nights are dedicated to the modified tractors and the modified trucks. Like you see here, Mark Boyer's brought down the Mr. Twister. So, Mark, when people always talk about Florida tracks, they always say, oh, they're sandy, blah, blah, blah. And I always go back to your run 3 or 4 years ago when we dug that track down there in Zellwood and picked the front end up, and it carried it about 330 feet. So that makes me smile.
Yeah, that's I qualified to say that I pulled all over Florida, and Zellwood has definitely has tracks in Florida.
No, and that's what we need. We need respected pullers like yourself to be able to say that, so that when people are going down there, because there is a big misconception with that, and really want to get the fans coming down. And obviously we're going to be back there as well in March with some Grand National stuff and trying to get pulling kind of going all year round again. Some people like it and some people don't, so it's all good. It's busy.
Yeah, I personally love it. I love pulling in the wintertime, and I like going south to pull, and it's about 12 degrees here in north central Indiana. So I'm looking.
Yeah, I'm sitting in Cody Singletary's house right now in North Carolina. So I was in Zellwood this morning. I walked across the Zellwood track this morning about 10 o'clock, and it was about 50 degrees or so when I walked out there this morning. Then I jumped on an airplane and flew to Raleigh. So
I see.
Yeah. Brandon, can you see that question? Is it modified four-wheel drive or super modified four-wheel drive going down to Florida for you guys in the Super Bowl?
It's gonna be the modifieds, not the pro modified track trucks. It's just gonna be the modified trucks. We're not gonna have any blower four-wheel drives down here. Just the naturally aspirated trucks.
Okay. Cool. That was one of the questions we had there on the screen, so I wanted to ask that. Mark,
Right.
For you guys, you're a big farmer, right, Mark? Big grain farmer?
I don't know that I'm necessarily a big farmer, but yes, I am a farmer.
But for you to come down into Florida, it's actually a little bit better for you because you're not as busy, right? At home right now when it's 12 degrees.
Correct. Yeah, this is the time of year, we're so it's busy throughout the summer. Now I always make time to pull, but it's just I'm I'm always under pressure about doing the next thing. It's that pulls doesn't have time to do it.
No, understood.
Where I really enjoy going south pull in the winter because kind of the pressure's off was the farm and the businesses at home. So that's another reason that I really, really, really enjoy it.
No, that's perfect. Chris Hall's checking in. He says he's bringing his semi and his grandson's going to pull his lawnmower for the first time. That's one thing that I really enjoy about Zellwood is the afternoons are garden tractors, antiques. And then at night, the fans really get to see legit everything. And I know they have that. Brandon, you guys have like a little club tractor, right? That every kid can pull?
We got a little Cub Cadet that any kid can get on and do whatever, go down the track with it. They love it. They love to do it. I like seeing it because that's how I started. So it's great for the sport. Gets new kids in and gets a whole new generation going.
Mark, how did you get involved in pulling?
Well, growing up a farm kid, my dad never participated in pulling, but was a fan. So I grew up milking cows, and so I would usually could worm my way to go to the Indy Super Bowl every year and farm show every year, and usually the state fair, whatever happened to be fair, and that was my pulling. But interestingly enough, Jack Tedder, Scott's late father, called our milk. So when I was a little kid, I'd run out to the milk house and bug Jack with 1,000 questions about pulling, and he was always super patient. So I have a history with the Tedders that goes way, way, way back to Scott's dad.
That's awesome. It is fun when you kind of think about like your pulling heroes and stuff like that, and for you to see them and to hear that they haul your milk, that's pretty cool. So
yeah, I grew up, with him accessible, which is pretty neat. And he was always so patient with me. I would have had 1,000 stupid questions, I'm pretty certain. But yeah, having somebody personally to go watch and be a fan of, made all the difference in the world. And I remember coming back from the farm machinery show one year when I was probably about 10, 12 years old, and I told my dad, and he kind of laughed at me. He goes, "Well, you better go home and get to work." And I kind of feel like all these years later, that kind of a dream come true for me to work with Scott, and it's been great. I kind of came up through the ranks, starting with an antique years and years ago, and here we are today. So it's kind of a dream come true.
What year do you remember your first time down the track on the antique?
Oh, first I would have been probably about 14 years old. I'm 50, so that's been a minute ago.
That's awesome. So over the years, kind of take us through where we ended up today. What have you all been down the track on?
Well, I started early on when I was a kid. We had a WD Alice just on the farm that just got used occasionally, and I was able to. Dad let me take that tractor and let as just a Division I. That was my first tractor thing. And it didn't last long. I was faster, and years later, a Massey 30 that had a small block Chevy in it, and I ran with Dark County and Central Ohio, and I found out pretty that I didn't have enough horsepower for that, and also heard about that time that Scott Tedder, that I had been following for years, was building. So I didn't want anybody else to build me a tractor. John Deere, which that's what with a small block ran with Central Ohio, Dark County, and then that's what I pulled in Florida all the years ago. I moved up to Indiana Pulling League, and then started working with, which is a snapshot of 5 years or so.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Brandon, what's it mean to you and the Florida Pullers to have big national level competitors like this come down to your guys' event?
It's always great to see them because it's like we get to have these big names at our track. It really means something. It's like we got a good place to let these guys come down because they're not going to come down to some crappy little track and nothing on it. They're gonna only go to the good places. So it makes me really nice when I see a big multi-engine guy come down here and say that our track is legit. So it's a good name.
Yeah, I agree. Mark, how did your 2025 season end up? How many hooks did you guys get out this past year?
We got out about 15 hooks. We bounced back and forth between some regional, national stuff, and we ran. We had some real good finishes. I believe we had Scott president. I believe we had between 5 wins, but
Nice.
we didn't run points. It's so difficult. I'm still working another full-time job as well as farming. We have ag-based businesses, and it's so difficult to run the point race. So we just kind of bounce around and go when we can. And my favorite time of the year is heading down to Florida.
Awesome. And how many hooks you said? So we're going to come to Zellwood here February 6th and 7th, and then Inverness is the following weekend, right?
Yep, we're going to make 2 weekends. It works out very well that Zellwood and Inverness are back-to-back weekends. So we'll haul the tractor down and stay the week and run at Zellwood, then run at Inverness, and then haul the tractor back home and get ready for start going through things the season early in the summer.
Yep, that sounds good. Well, Mark, we're going to let you go. Brandon, I'll talk more about the event, but it's nice having pullers come on tonight. Is there anybody else you want to thank here tonight before we let you go, Mark?
Well, I'd just like to thank the folks at Zellwood for, of course, having me on here. And, they have a great event, and they have a very good track facility down there, and I'm really looking forward to being down there.
Well, we're going to see you in less than a month. It's going to be fun. So
can't wait.
Awesome. Thanks, Mark. Have a good night, buddy.
Thanks, you too.
All right, Brandon. Cool. Thanks for getting Mark on tonight. That's pretty neat. That again, I'm not joking, Brandon. When I talk about Mark's tractor and Scott's tractor, I tell people all the time, I watched the front end come off the ground at about 10 feet, and they carried it 330 feet. So when we can carry a multi-engine mod like that on the track down there, it's exciting for everybody. And your fans really don't get to see stuff like Mark's tractor.
Not
all year round. So
not all the time. It's nice seeing him come down because he's such a humble guy. You know, I like seeing both of them come down with that tractor because it's always going to be a show. And that, like you said, when it picked that front end up and just left with it, that made me feel really nice about our track.
Yep. No, I was down on the track today. I saw that you guys had put some hay and some organic material into it a couple weeks ago. I just pulled up to the gate, jumped over the fence, and walked down there. I was on my way to the airport, and I swung by there. I didn't even tell your dad I was in town because I didn't have time to even hang out with him. But I talked to him this morning and different things like that. So really looking forward to coming down here in a few weeks. It's going to be a good time. So.
Yep. It's coming quick. You know, just the other day, it's like, oh, we got a year to a Super Bowl, and now it's in a couple weeks.
Yep. No, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Any new news sponsors you want to talk about tonight? Have you been talking to any pullers? We're going to do We're going to do weekly lives like this. 15, 20 minutes, and keep checking in with everybody. So
Caterpillar, our local cat dealer, they're bringing us a lull to be able to move weights around and pretty much do whatever we want to do with it.
Okay.
Our John Deere dealer, they're bringing us 3 100-horse tractors that we can do whatever we want with. We're going to have probably 2 on the track and 1 out. That way, if anyone blows up or anything, it can get pulled off the track. And then it's bringing us 2 side-by-sides that we can use to do whatever we need to do with. Seminole Paving, AC Mobile Marine, Fields Equipment is bringing the John Deeres. AAA Land Services. We've got Ring Power Cat, which is bringing the lull. And then Florida Coast Kubota, they're the ones that are bringing us the 2 side-by-sides. And then South Bay Automotive, here, a local shop that we know very well. We've got
I feel like South Bay's been involved with you guys for a while. I feel like I say their name every year.
They've been around for a long time.
Good deal.
Very nice shop they have there.
And that's what's nice about it's not hard to talk people into going to Florida in February and March when we live in the Midwest. You know, Mark talked about when he came on, it's 12 degrees at his house right now in Converse, Indiana. So
yeah, it's dropping here quick. This morning it was 56, and now I believe it's around, what is it right now? It's loading. It's 45 right now, right here.
Okay.
I'm pretty comfortable.
yeah, no, it's all good. No, whenever I call your dad, the first thing we always say is he always says, "What's it like in Wisconsin?" And I'm like, "It's cold." And he's like, "Well, I'm in shorts and a t-shirt." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know."
Bragger.
It's all good. It's all bragging. No, I love doing these. I love doing these lives, checking in once a week with you guys. It's been fun being involved with your poll from a social media side of it, and then coming down and doing some announcing and helping out, promoting your event. You guys do a nice job, and there's a lot of pride in your club. Talk about. You don't just have the Super Bowl. You guys literally, I swear, have something almost like every other month all year round. Can you talk about that a little bit, Brandon?
Pretty much every month, except for the summer months, we'll take off. But right after our poll in May, we have a poll in April, and then, or I'm sorry, the one in March. We'll have a poll in April and then May, and then we'll take off until September and go until December. So we pull every month, once a month. It's usually small. Around 50 tractors to 100, you know, nothing too crazy, just enough where you can have fun with it, but still, you know, get a nice pull in. But it's nice because it's like, you know, they don't sit all year, the tractors. You can get them out and use them and put them away, and you know everything's good with them. So it's always nice to do that.
Now, Chris Hall had commented earlier. Did they build a new semi truck? I think I saw on their Facebook page. Does that sound right?
Yeah, they have got two. They got two of them now. Chris bought one a while back, and he's just now getting it to where he wants it, basically how he likes it to look. And they got it set up really nice, actually. They pull up in Georgia, and we go to their pulls, and that truck runs really good. So I'm excited to see him down here with our other semi trucks that we're gonna have.
Yeah, I'm looking for a picture of it right now. I swear I saw a Facebook post the other day that they
Yeah,
had.
he did post on Facebook. He just got it painted the way that he liked it. It looks good. I like it. They did the fenders purple and everything else. It looks really nice. I like that truck a lot.
It'll work.
Here, I'm gonna share a little video from their Facebook page, and because fans, you get to see a little bit of everything here in Zellwood coming up, and then we'll be back down as well, March 13th and 14th, just a month later. We're gonna have a lot of fun down there, Brandon. So,
yes.
with our Southern Swing event, that kicks off our 2 weeks. Let's see here.
I'm excited for that. That's gonna be really nice seeing the big names that are local tracks, and they're hopefully they like it. I have a feeling they will though.
Oh, they will. I'm trying to get my page to work. Give me a second, Brandon. That video. Do you see that video on your screen?
I do not.
Chris's
I just see the flyer.
All right, I gotta get that covered. Hold on a second here. Trying to present. Stop screen.
There it is.
There it is. Okay, cool. I'll play the video.
got the
This is
flyer
Chris
on there,
Hall's
too.
truck. Does it? Okay, let me take the
Yeah.
flyer down.
There we
Is
go.
the flyer down now? Okay.
Yep.
Do you see the truck?
Yep.
Okay, here we go. It just kind of gives the people a little bit what they can expect to see down there, Brandon. It's good stuff.
Oh yeah.
So,
We're gonna have quite a bit of semis actually. I think 5 or 6 of them are gonna be here for sure. Colby, Chris's son, he's got one, and that's a good looking truck. It's a good running truck for being what it is. You know, they do good with what they have for sure. I like that. That's the kind of people that I like. You know, you can be like, all right, you know, let's do this. They're like, they're just right there with you, and they're always nice people to me, all of us.
Well, and people want to go pulling, Brandon. Let's be honest, you know, and they enjoy it. They have a lot of fun. They have a lot of fun. Well, good deal. Well, hey, if anybody has any questions, please drop them in the comments. Otherwise, I'm going to let Brandon get back to work. It looks like they're in the shop right now. I got a couple comments here. Next week, it's going to be 79. Somebody commented. Okay, so we have two blown 2-wheel drives coming. That's cool.
Yep. Those guys are coming. That's gonna be a good show. Those two trucks. I was always a good fan of the blown 2-wheel drive trucks because they're loud and crazy, and they always got the front end up, and it's a fun time to watch them.
Yep, horsepower.
Oh,
yeah, are those pro stock semis, or is it a 4.1 Charger? Do you know much about how big those Chargers are in those trucks, Brandon?
I don't know much about them, but 4.1 kind of sounds right. But I don't know much about Colby and Chris's semis. You know, I wasn't.
That's what I see at Diesels and Dark Corners is a 4.1 class, so I'm not sure.
More than likely what they are. I'm not quite sure. I'm sure Chris will say something about it.
Yep. We'll give them a few minutes. So, no, it's exciting. It was fun to be at the track today. And now I'm sitting in North Carolina. So I want to thank my friends at Frontier for flying me up here. And then we're live streaming Big Daddy Motorsports. It's like an indoor poll here in Williamston, North Carolina, the next couple nights. And then, like I said, in a couple weeks, we're going to be down in Zellwood, excited and going to have some fun. So.
Yeah, I'm ready. You know, let's bring it on.
Yep. And somebody thinks 4.1. Yeah, that sounds good. Well, Brandon, I'm going to let you go. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Thanks for getting Mark Boyer on. We'll try to shoot again next Thursday night if that works for you. And we'll just keep jamming. All right. Thanks, Brandon.
All righty. See you then.
Yep. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great night.
Today.
Well, let's talk about today.
Grand national state level, you have to run non-sale. It's wholesale.
Is 9,000.
The only mistake I made, I didn't put her in a registration booth with the
just this ever-evolving story.